Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Is it finally time for XRP? This coming from King Dogo here on Twitter. And yes, guys, it looks like XRP has finally woken up. As of the time of this screen grab, we were seeing an XRP worth about 58.5 cents. And now it looks as though XRP has stalled. Right now, we're seeing an XRP price trading at around 58 cents, so just a little under that screen grab there. But we did actually see XRP go up as high at about 59.7, so almost 60 cents per coin. Over the last couple of days now, we've seen an increase for XRP, which I'm sure has surprised a lot of people, up 12.5% since Monday. So that's a good start. So altcoins are rallying. Let's take a look at the King crypto, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also rallying too. Bitcoin just made a new inter-year high, guys, 59,500. So we are approaching 60,000 very soon for the King crypto. Right now, we're trading at around 58.9, so just under that $59,000 mark. Again, this is on the hourly. If we throw this on the daily, you guys can see, wow, extremely bullish days here for the King crypto, and we're very, very close now to all-time high. We're only about 15%, 14%, 15% from all-time high. So all eyes are now going to be on Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space. As you guys can see, we are now engaged with extreme greed, 80 on the fear and greed index, a far cry from about a month ago when Bitcoin did retrace back to about $38,000 per coin. Market cap has now fully surpassed $2 trillion. 2.21 trillion is now in the crypto market. 24-hour volume has gone down a little bit, but Bitcoin dominance is still up. So Bitcoin is still dominating, the lead here, although altcoins are catching up. We're not seeing that dominant sway. This all checks out, guys. This is all, part and parcel to what we generally see for Bitcoin first before we do see altcoins follow. And just to give you guys a sense of perhaps where we could see all-time high, just taking a look at the last bull run and taking a look at this last all-time high here. It took Bitcoin roughly 1,080 days, give or take, before we did see that all-time high. Now, this is a bit subjective. I don't know if you want to consider the all-time high, this first peak for Bitcoin, or the second one. If we consider it the second one, the actual technical all-time high for Bitcoin, this would bring us to roughly in and around here. So end of October 2024. But to be honest with you guys, I do think we're probably much closer than that. If I were to use this metric here and use that first peak for Bitcoin from back in 2021, that would bring us to roughly the end of March 2024. So we are eyeing, we are so close though now to all-time high that I feel like come the spring, in and around the Bitcoin halving, this is likely when we're going to actually see it. And, I'm sure your crypto portfolios are feeling it too. What multiple do you guys need on your entire crypto portfolio to hit your exit target or ideal target from your current level? This coming from Moon Lambo here, for me, it's a 5x. If I get that, I am gold. I know a 5x increase might not sound like a lot, but from where my portfolio is today, that would be beyond substantial for me subjectively. Everybody is, of course, going to be different, but if you guys want to see what I'm doing, and I've been in this space for as long as Moon Lambo, since 2017, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I do have the $10,000 plus portfolio that I just invested in this past year, so 2023. So that is something we're going to be looking at for the immediate term, but I also do have my legacy coins that I am holding over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I'm going to be sharing, my targets. I'm going to be posting the trades on the days that they occur to show you guys full transparency. This is what I'm doing. And 5x, doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've been in this space, since 2017 and never cashed out to USD before. As Moon Lambo points out here, many of my oldest holdings have had outrageous increases, although not all of them. If you ask me what multiple I would have needed back in 2018 or 2019, I'm not sure what my answer would have been, but suffice it to say, it would have been much higher than I need today. What matters is time in the market, not timing the market. Broad exposure over a long period of time. Basically, I created my own little crypto basket ETF and have been sitting on it for over 6 years now. I knew that strategy worked for the stock market, and back in 2017, I figured it would work for the crypto asset class too, and guess what? It does. So whether you are a short-term or a long-term holder, you probably should have a plan. And again, I'm going to be sharing my plan. I do have some resources over there too at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It's only $5 a month. I've kept it relatively affordable, specifically so that you guys can follow throughout this bull market. We are heating up. Bitcoin, gaining more steam as the days go on. It's feeling like, it used to be as the months go on, but now it's turning into weeks and days. So, who knows what's going to happen next? An analyst here has also identified the resurgence of the XRP Triangle Formation that led to the 66,000% increase for XRP. This one coming from DJ Peter Vance. Amid the roller coaster ride, synonymous crypto market analyst Moon Shilla has called attention to a pattern that the asset witnessed before its historic surge between 2017 and 2018. And guys, I've got the tweet up here. Check this out from Peppa Moonshilla here on Twitter. Exactly 7 years later, after it rallied 65,000% in 300 days. Is it a coincidence? Now, I mean, we've taken a look at this in the past. Triangular formation from back in, from ranging from 2014 to 2017, before that blow off top. Looking very, very familiar, except right now this has been extended here to March 4th, 2024. That is what he's suggesting here. So perhaps a moonshot in the future. I mean, if Bitcoin just keeps rallying like this, I don't see why not. Actually, let's just take a look at the XRP to BTC chart here, because that's going to give us, I think, a really good idea of when we could see this pop off top. And as you guys can see, XRP to BTC still ranging downward, which is good for us. I mean, once it does get in this range, that is when I think more eyes will be on XRP, because I think Bitcoin investors will get tired and maybe want to rotate profits into other low-lying coins. So something also to think about here. Coincidence too, guys, that the SEC is finalizing their crypto rules in April 2024, and the Ripple case is also concluding in April of 2024. Do you guys think it's a coincidence? This one courtesy of Smoke here. So expected activity in 2024. The SEC is planning to address crypto assets in final amendments to a rule on safeguarding advisory client assets by April 2024. This rule is aimed at preventing client assets from being stolen or lost through an investment advisor. This addresses all types of assets held as an investment advisor and contains explicit provisions on how an investment advisor should protect client crypto assets in its custody. But they are eyeing 2024 April specifically. As Eric Zfort down here does point out, the SEC will focus on bringing matters to resolution swiftly, because justice delayed is justice denied. Gensler has also stated that the laws should not use processes to delay investigations. Wow, what a hypocrite. The SEC is no stranger to being hypocritical, I mean, as a body, but more importantly, Gary Gensler hasn't really been the choice that, crypto investors have wanted to see up there at the SEC. James K. Filan also mentioning this, there is now a request to change the remedies briefing deadline, asking that the SEC's opening brief deadline be extended to March the 22nd, and that Ripple's deadline to file its opposition brief be extended to April the 22nd, 2024, and the SEC's deadline to file its reply now to May 6th, 2024. So it looks as though they are extending this, probably realizing that, they're running out of time here before Bitcoin maybe does top and, want to, maybe still stranglehold some retail investors. And it's not just the crypto community either. It feels like everyone is criticizing Gary Gensler. This one from Aaron Kofsky. And this is a clip of Senator J.D. Vance, from Ohio, speaking at today's Remedy Fest hosted by Bloomberg. And this is what he said about Gary Gensler. Listen to this.
If there's a candidate for worst person, in my view, at least in terms of my substantive disagreements, I'm sure he's like a nice guy, is Gary Gensler. Okay, so Gary Gensler is sort of the complete opposite of my view. And there are two problems that I have with Gary. One of which is that I think he wants to inject politics way too much into the actual business of securities in the United States of America. But in some ways, the more fundamental issue, or at least the most relevant issue for this particular conference is the approach that Gary has taken to regulating blockchain and crypto seems to be almost the exact opposite of what it should be. And I'm oversimplifying a little bit, but the question the SEC seems to ask in regulating crypto is this a token with utility? And if it's a token with utility, then they seem to want to ban it. And if it's a token without utility, they don't seem to care. I almost think we should be the opposite here, right? I worry about financialization. I worry about, frankly, whether a lot of the crypto stuff is fundamentally fake. But if a token actually has utility, that's the sort of thing that, by all means, regulate it. By all means, be careful about, how consumers interact with it. But you don't want to just get rid of this stuff. And here's where I really, really worry about this is a lot of the newest challengers to social media, the social media incumbents of 2024 are going to require some blockchain technology to make their business work. Maybe they'll require a token that supports verification. There are all of these ways in which the companies, when I talk to sort of friends who are still in the VC industry, the companies that are most exciting to them, that are doing actual things in communications in the 21st century, in 2024, I should say, those companies very often rely on high utility tokens to do things like verification. Well, if we're not making it possible to do verification, then we're going to make it really hard to challenge the existing incumbents in the space.
And it's not only going to just be social media, it's going to be a lot of applications running on blockchain technology. So, you know, when these guys are looking at us trading the stuff, they really don't get how big the industry is and how much they are really hindering the application of blockchain because of their archaic views or just not really knowledgeable. Although Gary Gensler is knowledgeable, so that gets me scratching my head too. Anyway, wanted to thank Aaron there and James K. Filan, of course. Eric Zeford, Smoke there, all for posting that. Now XRP Drops guys posting this. We are at war. Unfortunately, the other army is being led by Chief Elizabeth Warren. This coming from Jeremy Hogan. Good to see him again. Wake up, get involved, get political. The good news is that Elizabeth Warren is a very truthful person, as Jeremy says facetiously. Jeremy Hogan has a great performance in this episode and shows that he is a master of irony. I'm going to play you guys a clip here, but you can watch his full video here. I will link this in the description. Watch this.
Point being is that these projects, and this is what I really want to talk to you about, this technology that could save you money, save you time, make your lives better, even saves lives, it's all under attack. And it's an attack that's just not a limit of what we can do with it, but it's an attack that literally would make it illegal here in the US, and I want to explain how and why. And so during my 15 minutes, I'm asking you guys to wake up, get involved, get political. If you are a developer, if you're a lawyer, if you're an investor in crypto, we are at war, and unfortunately, the other army is being led by, you guessed it, Chief Elizabeth Warren.
There's a new threat out there. It's crypto, and it is being used for terrorist financing. It is being used for drug trafficking. North Korea is using it to pay for about half of its nuclear weapons program. We can't allow that to continue.
Oof. Well, there she is. That's Senator Warren, and she hates crypto, and she is leading the tribe, we should call it the tribe, I guess, the tribe which is fighting against crypto in the United States of America. And the good news is that, though, she's a very truthful person, so she would never lie about anything.
New trouble for Senator Elizabeth Warren, which is just days before she's expected to formally kick off her presidential campaign. The Washington Post is out with a new report revealing a document where Warren claims Native American heritage in her own handwriting.
I'm sorry. Every time it gets me. Yes, she said that one of her ancestors has high cheekbones, and therefore she's Native American. In any case, yes, Senator Warren has authored the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act, which sounds like a very nice, easy piece of legislation. And this is the current and largest battle against crypto there is.
I'm going to cut it there. There are a few more clips in this tweet thread, but I do suggest you watch Jeremy's video. I mean, just pointing out the fact here, Elizabeth Warren, not good for the industry. Alex Thorne here also mentioning that on Bloomberg Business today, Senator Warren, again, misled about the Digital Asset Industry AML Act. Contrary to her assertion, the U.S. crypto industry does abide by AML and KYC rules. So she's trying to conflate certain things here to get the general population to side with her. But if they knew the reality, I think it would be much more difficult for her to get them on side. Here's another clip of Elizabeth Warren on Bloomberg Business. Watch this.
You are pushing legislation in your anti-money laundering legislation that would essentially apply the Bank Secrecy Act, KYC restrictions to this industry, that is something that could completely wipe it out in the United States. Clearly, this relationship is antagonistic. Why not try to collaborate with the industry to fix the issue?
I want to collaborate with the industry. What I don't understand is why the industry seems to be saying that the only way that they can survive is if there's plenty of space for the drug traffickers and the human traffickers, and the terrorists and the ransomware scammers and the consumer scammers and the rogue nations, North Korea, that is financing about half of its nuclear missile program with crypto, that all of that has to be left open. You know, keep in mind, in our financial system, pretty much everybody follows the same set of rules. I'm talking banks and credit unions and credit card companies, gold traders and stockbrokers. Private equity now has to follow the rules. Precious metal dealers, Venmo, Western Union, but not crypto. My view of the world is same kind of activity, same kind of risk, should have the same regulation. I'm not looking for fancier regulation for them. I'm not looking for anything tougher for them. I just want a level playing field here, where if you're part of the financial system moving around literally billions of dollars, that, remember, my bill is not a regulatory bill. It's a bill about law enforcement, that law enforcement has the same tools that it has anywhere else to be able to shut down the terrorists and the drug traffickers and the scammers. I think that's the right thing. And I welcome anybody who wants to come in and make that happen. And frankly, I don't understand a defense that says, no, we've got to make sure that there is a place for those guys to play without getting caught.
So basically lying through her teeth. Her bill doesn't target the industry. It targets non-custodial P2P software run by American citizens. And so for a detailed breakdown, you can follow Alex Thorne here. He does give another tweet thread here from December of last year. So here we have Elizabeth Warren, of course, lying through her teeth. And, I'm hoping John Deaton does get voted in and can do something about this. Meanwhile, the industry is chugging along. This is Christian Carlo, courtesy of Smoke here on Twitter, when crypto and the derivatives fully collide. And guys, it's looking as though we are getting very, very close to this real world utility. And I'm starting to think now more and more, this has always been a hypothesis of mine, that during this bull run, we're going to see a lot more utility in the space because a lot more of these cryptocurrencies, well, first we're going to have the regulations, but also a lot of these cryptocurrencies are going to have the liquidity. Most importantly, coins like XRP, ones that have been looking for liquidity, realize a liquid market is the only way XRP is going to work in a real world setting. So to my point here, when crypto and the derivatives market fully collide, that's when the true value of this new asset class will be agreed upon, and prices are going to be set in the derivatives market. Derivatives equals price discovery. Listen to this.
As I explained to your audience today, I see crypto as much more than just a new asset class, but really a new architecture of finance, a new way of establishing who owns what and who's transferring what to whom, using the internet as the basis for establishment of that value, as opposed to the individual balance sheets of proprietary institutions. It's a new architecture, a new protocol for establishing value. In any commodity market, the price of the underlying commodity is actually not set in the physical or the spot market. The price is set in the derivative markets. Mature derivative markets are essential for price discovery because it's the one place that all the buyers and sellers can come together to agree on price. That's why the price of gold is not set in a jewelry shop. It's set in the derivatives market. The price of wheat is not set at a grain elevator. It's set in the derivative markets. The price of oil is not set at the gas pump. It's set in the derivative markets. So establishing well-functioning, healthy derivatives for crypto will provide a solid basis for price discovery and price setting for crypto.
So former chair of the CFTC saying, crypto prices, this is going to be set in the derivatives market, but we need that real world utility before we eventually see this realized. Now, Ripples in Wales here posting this, guys. Very interesting clip. Yesterday, I did post a video of the same gentleman from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. If you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Some more juicy nuggets here. The Germans are very conservative, and this chap is super excited about Ripple and XRP. Another great find here by Digital Asset Investor. And he says it in this clip, guys. He predicts a $5 to $10 XRP in the first wave. Now, let me put that into perspective for you guys. The first wave, meaning likely this first bull run here, throwing a Fibonacci here from the top of the last bull market right down here to the trough of the bear market. And, just looking at where that price could be, right at the top here is around $7. So smack dab in the middle of what he's saying here. Now, I'm going to play you guys this clip again. It's in German, so I'm going to try to translate on the fly. I hope that worked out in yesterday's video. Here's what he had to say. So Block, he says, you just said that you had a lot of coins that you keep watching, and of course we also want to look at everything about Ripple and XRP, why Ripple is why it's so exciting for you, or for whatever reason there's no translation here. Just sounds like he's explaining this. So he says on-demand liquidity. For the first part of Ripple is a professional company, which I think is good. It's not a foundation where some people get together and say, let's do something, but is a professional company with the ambition of a fairly large Borgengang. The second thing I look at is, of course, the question, and then the real business case behind it. There are many business cases. So there are many applications there and many possibilities in the crypto world, or rather the crypto world tries to mirror the classic world a little bit, but an important aspect is that Ripple tries to tackle this with a line here, and I think it's good. I have to have the time to clarify very briefly what it's about. It's about the following business concept. If you make a transfer from Germany in euros, so here he's just explaining RippleNet technology and making the transfers basically. I guess I could translate this, but I will link the clip in the description of the video for you guys. He says everyone knows that the actual business concept of Ripple as a bridge asset, so we talked a little bit about this yesterday, give you euros and the bank exchanges these euros for X and then puts them on the ledger and the blockchain, for example, entirely quickly without major costs. We talked about the cost yesterday. We then go to the bank in the USA, which exchanges the Ripple for US dollars and then gives it to the recipient. Hardly any time, hardly any costs. That is actually the motivation of Ripple. And therefore the banks, or which the central banks can essentially exchange the classic W into XRP. There's a liquidity pool, Ripple Payment as it's now called, and that means XRP is the bridge currency, XRP Ledger is the blockchain, the bridge, and that is the liquidity pool to be able to play on the bridge. I think it's a real business case, and that's why I'm here. He says this is where it gets really interesting, guys. Then she asked, when should you go... when should you part with your XRP? So you should go in that's important. He says, listen to this, guys. Said at the beginning, the topic of prices actually concerns me. Not so interested in the first step because I'm very heavily invested in Ripple, meaning XRP. Of course, I have certain hopes of selling ideas. I'll think about it when it's at $5 US. So from now on, it's a tenfold increase at $10. I think that's really good. So these are the sizes that I initially think of. There are, of course, things like this on the internet. They have to be 3 digits, it has to be 4 digits. I can well imagine that will happen, but until it gets to 3 digits, I'm sure it's because a wave of movement going up went out twice and went back. And I'm in the sense of the first approach where I'm going to expose this in the waves, the first wave, and I hope it comes between $5 and $10 US. So guys, that first wave, $5 to $10 USD for an XRP, this coming from somebody at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. He also discusses the buyback here, guys. Ripple wants a buyback of 10 billion XRP in order to have a higher price that is more stable. Again, another clip from the same gentleman here from June 2023, another one posted by the Digital Asset Investor. With a greater probability that it will go down to the Ripple, it is still to be said there was an amazing rumor at the weekend that I would like to briefly add to the rumor that Ripple wants to buy back 10 billion XRP coins in order to simply have a higher price and a more stable price. It is rumored that could, of course, stimulate the imagination. It hasn't been stimulated yet, as you can see here from the chart, so nothing has moved up yet, but if an IPO from Ripple could come after the lawsuit has been settled, then you might have enough money, because you're talking about one of the largest IPOs I have ever had to do. Something like that. And there are many factors that come together that suggest that Ripple has a good chance of going up. But as I said, you have to be careful. The legal dispute has not been decided yet. And just as things can go up, so can, and then it cuts off there. But guys, this was from June 26, 2023, before the lawsuit verdict. So the buyback, a higher stable price, he sees the first wave of XRP price appreciation going from $5 to $10, somewhere in and around there. I think it's certainly doable. Even just taking a look at the Fibonacci, we're eyeing a $7.43 XRP just based on the spec market alone, guys. And Bitcoin right now continuing to move up. We are eyeing that $60,000 mark. So that is also great news. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. And please subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm trying to hit 100,000 by March the 31st. If we can hit that target, I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.